Mr. Green, you come up and take a seat. Mr. Price, can you come on the Zoom call, please?
Can you hear me, sir? Your Honor?
I can hear you, but I need to see you on camera.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Okay.
Do you have a camera that works?
There we go, sir. I've pulled it up.
Okay, you can be seated. So, Mr. Green, could you raise your right hand, please? You swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. And how is it that you need an order against Mr. Price?
Well, I'll make a long story short. Him and I used to be friends, kind of, and it started back when he went to jail for a couple months. I was helping him. He was calling me and asking for help, rides, and can you bring this? Can you bring that? And I accommodated. And he was in jail for domestic violence against his wife. And it started his texting and threatening me and stuff started when I had mentioned to him, hey, this is all your fault, and you're the one that caused it. And, because he was complaining about being homeless and losing his house and his wife and this and that. And, it was just too much. And so.
What specifically did he say?
About
you, why you want this order? You're alleging harassment of some kind.
Paperwork. I don't know if you got them or not.
I did put them on. I need you to say these out loud and on the record and so forth.
Okay. He was saying that he was threatening with you better bring your gun. My brothers and I can get you. I'm going to talk smack about you all over town. It was on and on and on. And it's hard to remember everything he said because there was so much that he said. And I actually, at the end, finally, I hadn't heard from him for a little while and thought, well, maybe it's over now. And I knew at that point he had a mental problem because he just wouldn't quit. But then I texted him when he texted me the last time, and I said, listen, man, I said, if this continues, I will put a restraining order on you. And it's not going to go good for you. And I want you to keep my name out of your mouth. And I will sue you if you continue talking smack about me, because he threatened to do that too. And 2 days went by. I hadn't heard from him. I'm thinking, well, maybe that worked. All of a sudden, it started up again. And I'm like, oh my God, this again. And he started in with his threats again. Do what you got to do, he said, as far as this restraining order goes. At that point, I got really stressed, and I got a bad heart, as he knows. I died of a cardiac arrest 2016. I'm on medication. I have a defibrillator. I went into AFib on this last text, and I said, that's it. I am done. I went to the hospital. I have paperwork right here if you want to see it.
No, I don't need to see that. I just need to see, and I do see your texts here, and I actually have them in front of me. And so, Mr. Price, I'll hear from you. You can raise your right hand, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can I say one last thing? Last thing.
Go ahead.
I have to go in.
Just a minute, Mr. Price.
I have to go in tomorrow or Wednesday for the cardiovers and to get my heart back in rhythm as a result.
So, Mr. Price, now again, raise your right hand, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. So I'll hear from you on the request for an order.
Yes, Your Honor. I made a major mistake in my life by becoming friends with Buddy Green. I was warned about Buddy Green by a very close friend that owns a business next to him. Buddy Green has belittled me, has been mean, He treats people like garbage. He has no respect for anybody. I'm not the first person that he's going to try to sue. He has tried to sue other people in the past.
Okay, well, this isn't about a lawsuit.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, and this is just about whether or not an order should be in place.
Your Honor.
So I'm looking at these, hang on just a second.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm looking at these texts where you say, my brother Swole, I'm not sure who is, and my brother Lynn have my back 24/7. All I have to do is call and you will disappear forever. I mean, that's a text that you sent to him. Also, I've been in past prison. I've fought better mother effers than you. You're nothing but a little punk and then bitch scared. And so, I mean, those are the things I think he's complaining about. I'm not here to say who's a good person, who's a bad person. I'm just trying to determine. I mean, do you have an explanation for that, or is that would be pretty concerning? I think pretty much for anyone to receive text like that.
I have been belittled by him about
my
military
service. I'm asking.
I'm just giving you a reason why I would say these things to him. Okay. He says these types of things to other people and myself. I was giving him a taste of his own medicine, is all I was doing, Your Honor.
All right. Well, so here's the thing here, Mr. Price. I don't know what he said to what sort of text he sent to other people. All I can see is what, the only people here is him as the petitioner and you as the respondent for texts that were sent, which most, and I certainly consider, upsetting or harassing. And so I don't know, what happened to your relationship or what have you, but I am going to enter an order and you're just not contact him. Don't come with, don't contact him, don't communicate him, don't engage in stalking behavior. And this order will exist for a period of a year. And again, I find that the text that, maybe I should have done this earlier. But the definition of unlawful harassment is a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, or is detrimental to such person and that serves no legitimate or lawful purpose. Course of conduct must be such as would cause a reasonable person to suffer substantial emotional distress and must actually cause substantial emotional distress. And so whether he's doing this to you or other people, if that bothers them, they need to come and get their own orders. But what I'm hearing here right now, those texts, and again, those are just a few of the texts that are in the file. I do find that those texts are specifically designed to alarm another person and actually did so. So I'm going to enter an order. The order will exist for a year.
Does that count as so many feet away?
How close do you live to each other?
Well, we don't live near each other, but he has a neighbor of mine that he goes over there and visits. And I would like it if you just stayed off our property because our property's joining in the same parking lot. And I don't want him around me. So.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
That's one thing I was very concerned about. That is a gentleman that warned me about Buddy Green, and he is a very good friend and a good person to me. So
that's
part of my support.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so you know this person?
I do. We're friends.
Okay.
He's lying. Sorry.
They are not friends, Your Honor.
Okay, so hang on just a second, just one more time.
We have businesses right next to each other for 7 years now.
Who, you and the other person?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see him frequently and talk to him. We share information about hot rods we bought, and he's never said anything to me bad.
That is totally untrue, Your Honor.
You live next door to each other? Or how?
Well, we have businesses next to each other, and he goes over there.
Oh, at the
and tries
business?
to
Where's the
visit.
business?
It's Biscay's is the other guy's business, and Old School Tattoos mine.
And where is this?
It's in Centralia, on Old 99.
What's Biscay's?
Biscay's sells auto parts and classic auto parts and stuff. Nova specifically, Nova parts.
Your Honor, I've known the owner for over
Go ahead.
20 years. He is a very close friend of mine. He is part of my support and a good man. He is the one who warned me about Buddy Green.
So okay, so hang on, just okay, here a minute. So here's what's going to happen here, Mr. Price. Again, the no contact order, you're not to have any contact, you're not to engage in stalking behavior, don't communicate or cause any harm. And then rather than there's not going to be a distance restriction, but you don't enter or knowingly come onto the premises of your residence or your workplace. So he can still visit his friend there in that business. And but you know, by doing that, you're taking a risk. If you have any sort of contact with them or do something that could be argued as contact, and sometimes you're yelling loudly, insulting someone to somebody else where you know the other person can hear, that can be considered contact and a violation of the order. Do you understand that, Mr. Price?
I do, Your Honor. I understand completely. I want nothing to do with Buddy Green, and I will walk away.
All right, that sounds like a win. We're going to make a copy of this for you. You can get a copy of this off the district court website.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Next it'd be Mr. Weaver and Ms. Sims. Could you come on the Zoom call, please?
I'm having trouble with my video.
There you are. And Mr. Kalich, can you come on the Zoom call, please?
Do you hear me?
Could you activate your camera, please?
I believe it is activated. Can you
It's
hear me?
not. Oh, there you are. There you are. So when were you
Okay.
served with this petition?
I think it was Saturday.
Okay. So are you prepared to
Maybe
proceed normally?
Friday?
Served, and let me finish, please. You need to be served within a certain period of time. We lost him. But yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to wait for him to log back on there, Ms. Weaver,
Okay.
Ms. Sims.
Mhm.
Here, show him ask him if he'd like to see the
Hey, sorry.
document.
Okay, can you come back on, please, Mr. And activate your camera again, please.
I believe it's on. I
It's not.
apologize for the internet. I see myself.
Well, that makes one of us. There you are. I can see you now. Okay, so are you prepared to
Okay.
proceed here today, or given the late service, I can reset this for a week or two, probably two, and then come back and give you a chance to respond what's being alleged in their petition? Are you ready to go now, or do you want time to get ready for it?
No, I'm totally ready to go now. Honestly, the only thing I'm concerned about is payment because they owe me money.
Okay, nothing, that's not in front of me right now. The only thing that's gonna be in front of me right now is whether they get an order or not, one way or the other.
Well, I don't care about that. As long as, I mean, because I don't understand how I'm supposed to get my money from them and contact them. I sent them an invoice, and I actually, as it works out, the bank that I currently am banking with is going through a transition where it's Security State Bank transitioning into Giza Credit Union. So I call and I can't figure out whether they paid me or not. So that's all I really care about is getting paid.
Okay,
I don't care
so,
if I talk to them. I just want to know if they paid me or not.
then we lost him again. What's that?
When was it served?
No, it's bad connection.
Your Honor.
Yes, I'm gonna wait for him to come back. I don't want to talk to him without him being here, but now he's back. Okay, Ms. Sims, anything, what would you like to say?
The papers were served to Mr. Kalich on Thursday.
Okay, and that's still not enough time, ma'am, but that's,
Okay,
but go ahead. Okay, ma'am, Mr. Kalich, I need you to be quiet here for just a second.
Okay.
So what's this about money being owed to Kim, or is that a disputed, or what exactly?
No, we have hired Dan on numerous occasions to do various projects. And the billing we received was recent. There was one that he included in his text that was inflated and outrageous, but it looks like he's sent to us both a reasonable billing for the work that he has done. A phenomenal job, by the way. And but something has happened where the things went sideways with what all these text messages that were coming in.
So again, is there an agreed amount you're going to pay him, or is that in dispute? And Mr. Kalich, I need you on screen there. Yeah, go ahead. So it sounds like you've had a business relationship with him for a while.
Yes.
So what is that a disputed amount, or what exactly?
Part of it is.
Part of it is disputed, yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to get back on. I don't know if I'm on camera.
You're on now. Yeah, no, you're on now. I wouldn't talk with the other. So Mr. Kalich, I need you back on, please.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So there's not a temporary order being set in place. There's so folks can communicate with each other. You know, I'm not going to do this hearing with this glitchy technology because you keep losing, you're coming back, and you know,
I'm sorry.
you're on and off camera. Well, hang on, we're not just hear me out. You know, I get to make some decisions here, and here's what's going to happen here today. What's next Monday look like?
Jeez.
That's pretty large.
Yeah, about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Well, let's see next Monday first of all.
You can see.
Yeah, the next one probably isn't any.
Oh.
For what?
Okay. Yeah. So Mr. Kalich, it kind of looks like I'm looking at a cat and some feet.
I know. I fucking gave up at this point. Like, I'm literally trying. I fucking gave up.
Here's, you know, you're in court, and I always appreciate it when people act and speak as if they are in court. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Zoom because it kind of lends an air of informality, which should be a formal proceeding. And so
I'm trying, dude. I'm literally trying. I'm literally trying.
Hey, remember what I said about not interrupting people?
Okay.
So don't interrupt me either.
Okay.
And so we're going to reset this for 2 weeks. You need to be back here, there, and then I'm going to require
them to pay me.
What's that? No, then we're going to have a hearing on this anti-harassment petition. If they pay you, and that's entirely up to them. That's not in front of me. You need to start your own lawsuit if you think you're not getting paid. But you need to be here in person for the anti-harassment petition.
All right, fair enough.
All right. And then so again, then this will be your notice. You're not going to get any notice other than this. You need to log back in 2 weeks from today.
So how do I ask them to pay me the money?
Well, I kind of think you did, first of all. And secondly, you know, I can't be given advice to one party or the other. You don't want me telling them how to present their case. My guess is, I mean, it's just between you folks. And so, you know, they've said they've appreciated your work. They agree they owe you some money. Apparently there's a difference on how much, but I'm just not going to get in the middle of that. The only thing I'm here for is to whether or not an anti-harassment order should be entered.
Oh,
And
so
we're going
what's
to
your
make that.
decision on the anti-harassment order?
What's that?
What's your decision?
I'm not giving one. I'm telling them we're going to do this in 2 weeks when I know everyone's here and I'm looking people face to face, not face to foot.
Well, dude, fucking make a decision. You know it already. Why? Because at this point, this is harassment to me.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry you consider
They
that
are
harassment.
harassing me.
Mr. Kalich, you're going to sign, you're going to sign off. We're going to reconvene in 2 weeks. And if you don't appear in person, then an order will get entered in their behalf.
And you
that's
know
going
I
to
don't
conclude the hearing
fucking
here for
care.
today. We'll
All
see
I
you in 2
fucking
weeks.
care about is getting fucking paid. They owe me money. Fuck.
And then, can you get him off the call? Yeah. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Ms. Weaver and Ms. Sims, sorry, Ms. Sims, Mr. Weaver, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
What time?
Is there a time, Your Honor?
9 a.m.
Okay, very
9
good.
a.m.
All right. Thank you.
And so we're going to start, Mr. Leone, you can bring your client up to one of the tables, and Ms., is it Finkst? Is that how I pronounce your last name? You can come to the other. And then I do want to tell you folks, before we start, you can be seated. I'll wait for Mr. Leone to come back up here. There was some things that were submitted late on the 30th, and I was unable to read those or see those. I think there was some video, and for whatever reason, our computer wasn't able to decipher that. And so I don't, maybe you might need to explain that to me or what have you. Anyway, I'm just letting you know that for that late filing, I was unable to see, but I do see you have some still pictures there.
Sure. So, Your Honor, we submitted, along with my client's declaration, sometime we submitted them. Clerk's office said, "Hey, we can't pull things off of OneDrive with the link." So I submitted.
And I'm telling you, I realize that, but I have been unable to view that.
And then we submitted these, and like I can publish for the court with my laptop. I know my laptop plays all these files. It's just, I've gotten these things from various sources: school district, Thurston County Sheriff, and my client's Droid or.
And have you been able to see those things, ma'am?
Yes, as well.
All right.
I received a few of them myself, and also there's another one from the 30th. I don't know what that is. I am assuming though that it is the photos that he just gave me, that it's a video from that.
Yeah, and the photos that I just supplied, this was a rather recent actual violation of the temporary order of protection that my client has against the respondent. I did just give those screenshots to her.
And like I say, the declaration, for whatever reason, I couldn't open either. And I don't know why. When I'm at home, because I look at this stuff over the weekend, typically in anticipation of Monday. And sometimes when I'm at home logged into here, I can't always see stuff. So did you get a chance to see that declaration?
Meaning the one from
That was filed on
like
the 30th.
the original one?
No, just the one. Apparently one was filed on the 30th, which would have been last Thursday.
I did not see a declaration from
Okay.
It's the
Thursday.
same declaration that was previously filed. Your Honor's had a
Okay.
cover sheet on it.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
So you were going to say something, ma'am?
Oh, I was just pertaining to the what he said about, what is it called? About when you do the thing. What's it called? Sorry, not a lawyer.
Well, do the thing can mean a lot of things.
Break the rules in the protection order.
Yes.
That I was just going to say a statement about that.
Well, you'll have a chance. You'll have a
Okay.
chance to respond to that. So my understanding is this was in front of Judge Buckley a week or two ago. And then I think he brought up the concept of, okay, he told me he said, well, I can just grant both of these right now. And then apparently that didn't happen. But and I read through all the stuff and I told you what I haven't been able to see, but I was going to bring up, an alternate thought that, if we can proceed to hearing and I can make decisions on both orders. I mean, this is kind of, when these cases come before me in terms of when they have cross petitions, sometimes ask the question, you both want the same thing. I'm not sure why I'm involved or the court's involved. I mean, you stay away from me. No, you stay away from me. I'm not the harasser. You're the harasser. So, and I think there's a lot of things to go around. And so Judge Buckley said, well, we can just grant both of these and go on your way. But, have an alternate proposal also. We can proceed to hearing, or we can just stop and agree to dismiss these without prejudice at the right now. And then just go on about your way and see if folks can behave themselves. In the alternative, if we proceed to hearing, and again, I've read all the texts, I think there's been some inappropriate behavior going both ways. And it's going to be really hard for me to find that one person's completely at fault and the other person is scot-free. And I just want to let everyone know that up front. So is that a possibility where folks can just act like grown-ups and walk away and dismiss these without prejudice right now? Or do you want to proceed to hearing when you both may end up with orders? And again, Mr. Leone, I'll hear from you first. And I just want to be fair with everybody, and it's not to say I prejudged anything, as I've told you, I haven't seen everything. I have read the text. I'm just going based on what I've read so far, and I'll give everybody a chance to explain themselves if you don't want to proceed in that manner. But what say you? And then I'll hear from you, ma'am.
Your Honor, we're in a place where we are asking to proceed. It's just that really, I'm going to address an argument, but I don't think Ms. Collmore can meet her burden. And then the subsequent course of conduct that's been engaged against my client that's contemptuous and unlawful is absolutely, it's brought it to the point of having to ask the court to grant relief of 1,000 feet.
Okay.
In excess of her initial petition.
Is it Finkst?
Yes.
Okay. What say you?
So I fully do not understand a word he just said.
Okay, what he says,
But-
they want to go forward because they think
Okay.
they want an order.
I am completely okay with not going forward with either of them if the other person is able to just stay away from my children, myself, and my home. I don't need to do anything aggressive. I have multiple documents, photos, videos as well from that person.
Do you have them with you now?
Yes.
Okay, and then has he seen them?
No, these are all new. I
Okay.
just have.
Like I said, there's either agreement or there's not, and apparently there's not because they want to go forward. So why don't you show him those, once you step back, you can give him the photos that you want me to see.
Okay.
We'll take another one of these cases and then we'll come back and we'll take up this case.
Okay.
And only because I filed first, Mr. Leone, I'll hear from your client first.
Thank you.
And so again, there's been a lot of things filed. If you wish to, I don't think, we go ahead and swear her in and then you can put on the record the basis for her request for an order. So Ms. St. George, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. And then go ahead, and again, however you want to do it there, different. In these sorts of hearings, different attorneys do different things. You can inquire if you wish, or she can just testify in narrative form as the others have.
So, Your Honor, I think we're just going to be walking through the exhibits here.
Okay. And are those exhibits that have been submitted, or those stills from?
The exhibits, so
Okay.
these are stills from an alleged violation that we'll get to.
Okay.
But as far as the videos, I would like the court to see them.
Okay.
I understand that this court
I haven't yet. No.
So how should I go about publishing them?
Well, That's a good question, because we can't accept, yeah, short answer is I don't know, unless you could put them on your computer.
I can put them on my
Probably show
computer
them to
and
me.
so we can all see them. And then this is,
Okay.
I'll lay
And I can't
foundation.
remember. Did I swear you in, ma'am? They did
Yeah.
swear you in? Okay.
Okay. So, Ms. St. George, what are you requesting the court to do?
So just over the anger part, more of just kind of moving on with my life now. Don't want this to be as like a punishment or anything. I just want to feel safe again. I do want 1,000-foot restriction from her. She's coming up and down. I have a cul-de-sac. She's coming up and down. I have a.
So we're gonna get to that point. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so
With the 1,000,
you said
yeah.
1,000-foot restriction.
Yes.
Was this initially what you requested in your petition?
No, because our daughters were best friends and we've had
Still?
similar interests. No, unfortunately, no. Only yes, but
And so are your children at the same school?
they are, and that's why I had
Are your children in the same, in any of the same activities?
not anymore. So I had
Were they previously?
yes, and I had requested that to be lifted because I don't intend to bring my children to this, and my children still went over and hugged her because she was a best friend for a while.
Okay.
So,
So what event led to you filing?
I apologize for, how old are these children?
so my daughter's 6 and my son is 9. But like I said, we keep it very positive at home.
I just asked their ages. Mr. Leone, you can continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. So what event led to you filing this petition for an order of protection?
So it was just during some altercations, and she had came at me at the playground when I went to the playground in front of the kids, yelling about because she sent me a long text and she said, I can't talk to you on the phone because you're too charismatic, Chelsea, and I need to be able to text you so I can stick up for myself. And when she sent that to me, she just asked that she wanted just kind of like some space and stuff. And I sent a very brief message that, okay, I respect that. She wasn't happy about that. She came when I was going to the playground, she came and said, oh, is that all you're going to say? This and this, all that. And I just looked at her and I said, I don't have energy for this anymore.
Okay. And was this caught on any kind of video?
Yes, it was
Okay.
at the Lacey Elementary.
So what's elementary school in Lacey?
It's just called the Lacey Elementary School. So
And did you obtain these videos?
I did.
Okay. And have you submitted these videos into the court file?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so if Your Honor, maybe we approach
Yeah.
for first publication. So maybe we should all approach the bench. So
Why don't you just go right
seen
there? You
these.
can go ahead and go right there, and then you should be able to see it from there.
Yeah, and I've seen these
And
as
then
well.
maybe if you could fill that, because I'm getting a weird reflection. Okay, go ahead.
So, okay. Ms. St. George, do you recognize this video with the LES export 20251002_150000? Recognize this video?
I do.
Okay, and have you reviewed this video with me before?
I do.
Okay. And what does this video depict?
So it's right towards the ending. So we always go over to the playground. So it's probably more. We're here. Here's my
Okay.
kids. So I
Okay,
had,
so this, just for the record, can you please tell me which number this is at here to the left?
It's 9206.
Okay, so 9206 of 14,409 F, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit play.
And so I had already picked up my children. And we had plans. I had brought donuts from Krispy Kreme for the other children, like I normally do. We usually just go farm and they stay to the playground in the back. I went back to the car. Grandma just bought me some scooters. So We are returning from the car with the donuts and the scooters to proceed over to the playground that's over right there.
Okay.
This is her son's stroller, her older son's stroller, and her as well coming up. Her son is autistic. And they're very kind.
And have you entered the frame yet?
I have not. Here's my daughter. She's on her scooter. My sister had also said that she wanted to come play for the playground. And she's donuts with my sister, and that's my son. I usually see her a little bit on my side, and it's just kind of the same thing.
And at this point, did you want to have any in-person engagement with
Absolutely
the?
not. I made it very clear in my last text that that didn't want, that I would give her space. So this is where she calls over and she starts yelling. Is that all you're going to say, Chelsea? You don't have anything else to say? I feel like you're just not wanting to say anything. And I said, I don't have any more energy.
And when you put your hand there, I can't see it,
I'm
just so
sorry.
you know.
And so I said, I have no more energy anymore, Natasha. I'm just trying to fix my family.
And where's Natasha in this video?
She's right there in the yellow shirt
Okay.
coming up. And so that's when I said, I don't have any more energy, and I start walking off. And then she starts walking off, still continuing to yell at me while the children are there, saying, oh, you don't have energy and this and that. I'm just not saying anything. I guess are there.
So at this time, did you guys did you leave the frame here?
I did.
Okay, so is that fair to say it's at about 10,800 F on the left side of the screen there on playback time? Okay. So was this the end of the interaction, or did it continue?
No, so I started walking over to the playground, and I stood there, and everybody's coming up for the donuts, all the kids, and she just comes around, and somebody, the kids are going up to their parents asking for the donuts and stuff like that. And then one of her friends had come over and said, oh, this and this, which were all lies, I guess. No, there's just 2 stories to every side, and then she comes back over and she starts yelling at me again, all this other stuff, and then on the phone with my estranged husband, telling him that I'm over there and to that I'm the one get a hold of her and all this other stuff. And
Was this part of the interaction caught on camera as well?
yes,
And have you reviewed that?
I have, yes.
Okay, so I'm showing you a file, LES CAM 18-1-2025 1002_151800. Is are you familiar with this video? Okay. And does this video have any audio?
It does.
And did the previous one have any audio?
No.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed it forward a little bit.
That's child.
Okay, so at about 500 F on the lower left of the playback screen, what does this show?
This is showing her coming up. I believe she's on the phone with my estranged husband, saying that she wants to come over. I had walked up and I told everybody about the donuts. So this is her friend that had asked, about the donuts, and then they said something about, oh, did you do this and this and this? Did you throw her stuff away? And I said, no, I'm just putting into the before. And so there's
Anytime.
oh, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
I had no intention.
I'm not sure, where is she?
She's in the yellow shirt
Right
here.
there?
Yeah, so I'm not engaging, I'm just getting the donuts out. Just saying something from at the time there. Just kind of waving it off. There's
So Go ahead. At this point, approximately 1200 F on the playback. Were you having any interaction with her?
No.
Okay. And this you said there's a gentleman talking to you about stuff that was left outside.
We were just talking about the
Did you-
donuts at first too, and stuff that his kids could have the donuts.
Did you engage him about any of the things left outside?
No, he kind of just, afterwards, when he said, oh, did you throw all the stuff away? And I said, I didn't even know that, he was brought into it at the time, so.
Okay. Did you have any desire to engage in any of this around children?
No, I just, beautiful day, we used to play around.
Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and forward, to about to about 2,797 F on the playback. This at this point, between the last time that we moved forward and to this point, did you have any interactions with the respondent? Okay, so playing from about 2,800, and has the respondent re-entered your proximity?
Yes, she starts yelling something at me now, and like I said, it all kind of went a little fast. I'm still trying to explain to Josh that, you know, I have no idea what's going on with all this. You know, I'm kind of new to this, and she's yelling over top. So this is also somebody that a lot of people have reached back out to me and said, sorry that we didn't know the truth at the time. So at this time, they're still being lied to. And yeah, she's just yelling something at me. And I'm trying to walk away, and she's still trying to come up on me. And
when you began to walk away in this frame, were you trying to terminate the encounter, or what were you trying to do?
I was just going to go back over and kind of hang out with the kids and just was kind of over it, made sure everybody got donuts and just trying to,
Did you
makes
say
sense.
anything at that time when you were walking away? Did you say anything to her that was cruel, inflammatory, or anything along those lines?
not at that time. I said, I just don't want to do this anymore. I'm just trying to make sense of everything. And she's yelling at me, and she's like, let's go over here so the kids don't hear us screaming. And I said, you're already screaming.
And what was your level of your voice at that time?
Very calm, always calm. I like to think of myself. And
You can go back and if there's, unless there's more video, you can go back to council table.
Okay. And there's a little bit more video around here, and one more angle. And so I have terminated that file. I think we're on to this LES CAM 16-2 2025-152-304. Hit play. Have you seen this video before? Yeah. Is this video? Is this the same at the same location as the previous two videos?
correct. This is where she had told me, let's go to the side, come over here now. That we need to talk about this and not in front of the kids and come on. Doesn't make any sense because she was over here. So I had pulled to the side and she got on the phone with my estranged husband and saying that she's crazy, you're right, she's crazy, and all this other stuff. So we hear her and trying to manipulate the whole situation.
And in this video, where are you shown?
I guess.
No, where are you shown?
Where I'm right over here by the pool. This is where she had told me. I said, you're ruining my life. I said, I need to stay out of it. And she said, you want me to stay out of it? I said, yes, it's not your business anymore. I need to just fix my family.
Okay. So during the course of this interaction, why did you not want to speak with the respondent?
Because I made it clear earlier when she even said she was upset about something, and I stepped out of surgery for a second.
Did you suspect anything about the
Okay,
respondent?
go back and if you're going to conclude, you go back to
So
council
I'll
table.
go ahead and conclude that video.
Yes, I had suspected something about her and my husband together, and I was,
You can be seated.
And did you confront the respondent about this via any
I
in any
have,
means?
well, I have previously just had, no, not really. I think more or less him kind of going back and forth, but obviously me and him have been together for 17 years. So
And
I
did you-
didn't believe anything, and I was believing that I was crazy, thinking all this stuff.
Did you ever pose the allegation to the respondent she was having an affair with your husband?
Afterwards, she had called, but she never really, and she still has, she's still denying it, but the truth has come out. There's like a lot of people stepping forward. Her husband has stepped forward.
During this conversation, strike that. So, okay, so this what's captured on these videos, how did this incident come to an end?
I had just left.
Okay. Did you seek to have any subsequent contact with the respondent after this incident?
No, she had walked off. I seen my husband walking back up because she had told him to be there. He walked off with her. I went over, gathered the kids, and then we just went to the car
Okay.
and we left.
And did you on or about what date was that interaction?
I can't remember. It was I can't remember that date. It was towards the end of September, I do believe. I think September 30th. I
Okay.
can't remember.
And did you relate this what happened in this incident in a petition for an order of protection to this court?
Yes.
Okay. Were you granted a temporary order of protection?
Yes.
Okay. And what were the was there any distance restriction in that order?
No.
Okay. Well, was there a contact restriction in your temporary order against the respondent?
Yes. I just had said I just don't want her come to me. I don't want anybody else involved. I just don't want her.
Okay. So when was the next time you saw the respondent or came in contact with her after that incident that was captured on the Lacey Elementary School?
So it was a girlfriend's birthday party she had invited me to. I was home with the kids. My mom's here staying with me.
Is this after the temporary was entered?
No.
Okay, so that's actually
Oh.
kind of misunderstanding my posture. So I'm talking about the temporary order of protection in this
Okay,
case?
so yes, I applied for it on Friday, but it wasn't issued until that following Monday. So Friday was when I had came to fill it out, hand it in. My court hearing was on Monday. So yes, when I went there, I wasn't under my understanding that she was not there. She wasn't there when I got there. And so she had just came at the end. I had my friend from the hospital with me at the time. And she had came, like I said, I came in there and it was just the group of friends of that we always hung out with. And my estranged husband was there too. No orders against him yet, still trying to figure everything out.
So there's that incident where you intoxicated when you saw her that evening?
No, no.
Okay.
And I wasn't driving, yeah.
Okay, did you say anything rude, inflammatory, or otherwise
No.
unpleasant to the respondent that evening?
No, she wasn't there until when I was actually walking out, is when she came in. So
And is your the person who accompanied you there available as a witness today?
yes,
Okay.
she's here.
Okay. So you get the temporary order of protection, okay, and when was the next time you saw the respondent after you got the temporary order of protection?
Obviously our daughters had cheer together. I've always had friends with me that came to the practices just to make sure that I was safe, even to the games and stuff like that. But there was never any contact between us. You know, my daughter would go over and hug her and just, like I said, it just let that go. So no contact with them at all until just recently when she had come to me at the grocery store.
Okay. And did you seek an order of protection against your husband?
I have, yes.
Okay. And was that temporary order granted?
Yes.
Okay. Did he seek an order of protection against you?
He did, but it was denied.
Okay, so he sought an order of protection against you, but it was denied. Have you reviewed the petition in that case?
I have.
Did you discuss the petition in that case that your husband filed against you in the declaration you have filed with this court?
Have I discussed the?
In your declaration, did you discuss that petition that you filed?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Is there anything about that petition for an order of protection that your husband filed against you in Superior Court that you would like to point out for this court?
Yes, it's completely filled out by her. And so.
And how do you know that?
Because her handwriting on her petition versus her handwriting on his petition. And then there is also handwriting of his, what his handwriting looks like. So it was, yes, it was completely, I don't know if it was even done by his knowledge. I have no idea. Like, I haven't been keeping contact with any of that, but.
Okay, and when you say her petition, do you mean her petition against you that were before the court on?
Yes, the one that she was also denied for. So.
Okay, so that petition for an order of protection, you have a temporary order, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and the one against your husband? Correct?
Yes.
Okay, and has your husband abided by that order?
For the protection order, no, he had to come up to me after the court. I do believe he was jailed for that night. And so, and then, yeah.
And what did so he was jailed for that night?
Yes.
Okay, so did you record that protection order violation?
I did.
Okay. And have you submitted your recording of that protection order violation to this court?
I did. And that's where I had asked him why he said that I was a drug addict and alcoholic and all this stuff. And he said, it's just hurt in my ear.
Again, all we're here about is
It's
these two parties.
and that's
and whether or
I'm laying
not.
foundation, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's part of the offer of proof. It's part of the alleged course of conduct against my client's welfare.
Okay.
So,
Well, and what I don't want is her telling, bringing into evidence, well, he told me this and he told me that.
Okay.
I just stay away from that.
But as to the substance of the petition of the order of protection he filed against you that featured the respondent's handwriting, what did he say during that protection order violation to you about that petition?
What did he? Oh, so he had said I had asked about the petition that she wrote, that she said that I was a drug addict and alcoholic. And I said, why did he say that? And he said, she's just in my ear saying these things. That's what it said in the recording. And I had just asked why he was just making up these lies. And he said it was just all her doing this. So. Okay.
And have you submitted that recording of your husband into evidence with this court?
I did.
Okay. We'll not publish that one for sake of time. Okay, so that occurs. You indicated that there was a denial order in that petition of order of protection against you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And did you get served with that denial order?
I did. I had people pounding at my door at 9:40 at night. When the children were in bed, I looked through. I had looked through the door, and I said I didn't recognize these two women there, and I said, "Hello," and they said, "We open the door," and I said, "No," and I'm just.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of trying to move you along. Okay, so those two women, did you recognize those women?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did law enforcement respond?
So they sat outside my house for about 10 minutes, and then they moved along, and that's when I had to go back to the hospital for my laptop that I had called, and they said that was still there. I told my mom everything's calm. I'm just going to go over get my laptop, and that's when I came out. And I still seen Natasha and her friends sitting at the top of the hill, and then with the officer.
And when you're being served with this order of protection, it was at what time again?
About 9:30, almost 10 o'clock at night.
Okay. Was this a school night?
Yeah, kids were sleeping.
Okay. And was Natasha in any way, shape, or form? Did you have an order of protection against Natasha at this time?
I did.
And what was that? What did that include?
No contact.
No contact. And is it fair to say that a process server could be given coordinates to a home by Google Maps?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And did you submit a body cam from a deputy?
I did.
That responded to that?
I did.
Okay. And this body cam, does have any evidence within that body cam of Natasha being present?
It is. And he had told me too. He said he asked them to leave, that it was a denial order. He apologized. And he had said that just go about my business, go get my laptop and just come home safe. So they had left. He waited there for a second with me while they left, and then I proceeded to go to the hospital for my laptop.
Okay. So this incident occurs, and are you familiar with what Natasha's vehicle looks like?
I do. It's a GMC Yukon.
And the neighborhood that you live in, have you seen Natasha in that neighborhood at any time since your order? Strike that. Have you come to understand that Natasha's vehicle has been present in your neighborhood since the
I have.
the incident where the deputy was present?
Yes. Oh, yeah. The deputy was there. There's the recording of her vehicle being there right by one of my friends' neighbors' houses. And other neighbors had reached out saying that, yes, she's been driving up and down multiple times. He had sent me a Dropbox of some of the videos of her, and it's a cul-de-sac, so she doesn't know anybody down there. Yeah, it's just right over by Holmes Island. So
Okay, so those okay, so
oh yeah, this is the
okay, so let's Your Honor, maybe we approach it.
Are you gonna just show me pictures of the car driving up and down?
It's a not picture. It's just
Video?
a video from the neighbor of the car driving up and down.
Yeah, but I looked at there's not a distance restriction, is there?
There's no distance
I
restriction.
mean, is that
It's stalking.
so, arguably? Go ahead. If that's all you're showing, I don't think you need to show it to me.
Okay, so
And I'll give you a chance you'll testify in a few minutes, ma'am.
So these files D881A8, the 4 of them you've submitted to the court. What do those show?
it just shows her driving up and down multiple times. I had drove past one time and I had seen her too. I think it shows maybe her possibly sitting there and just kind of waiting, and then just when I come up, just drive away then. So.
And how did you obtain these videos?
I had asked my neighbor. They're kind of all just there for support. So he said that he would send that to me if I need anything, that he'd help keep an eye out. So he's just keeping an eye out, and he's seen.
Okay, so in this one is not in evidence yet, so I shouldn't see a copy. Should I mark it, Your Honor?
Yeah, you can mark it and submit it.
So,
Can I see it?
yes, Your Honor. And that copy I've given the respondent and copy in that for marking. Exhibit 1.
You can just file it into the. And if these are stills from videos that have previously been submitted,
These have not been submitted.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay, so I am. Let's just keep this company up for a couple of lines, so I don't lose it. Okay, so I'm handing you what we have just filed with the court. It's a series of 3 pictures. Can you please tell me what these are?
So I had went to the hospital to get my purse. I confirmed that.
On or about what date?
So this was about 3 days ago. And then I had stopped for some dinner for them because it was later on in the evening, about 8 o'clock.
And who's them?
My coworkers at the hospital.
Okay.
And so I went there and I gave them their lunch, picked up my purse, came back to Fred Meyer to pick up some stuff, just milk, bread, time, it's the time I have to do things. And I had heard yelling from behind the car, and I had looked and I said, "Oh, that's her." And then she still just sitting in a parking spot. And then she pulls up next to me And she starts saying about, oh, I don't care about the petition you, or the protection order you still have against me. And then I had tried to, I'm shaking, trying to turn on my phone real quick, and I got a little recording of her saying, oh, you're recording me now. That's cool, cool, cool. Thanks, Chelsea. And it just seemed like at first she would, wanted to maybe try to amend friendship. And then, but then it just came like it was really kind of violent at the end. And that's when I just stopped my recording for the 3 seconds, stopped the picture, and I just pulled out and I had went home.
Okay. And this recording, have you provided it to me?
I did.
Okay. How long is it?
It's probably about 3 seconds, 5 seconds.
Okay, so
Something it was just
so I'm showing
scrambling at the time.
So I'm showing you a file, 2025-1029 underscore 205501 underscore 1 underscore 1 MP4.
Correct. I did not engage with her.
And have you reviewed this court recording before?
I did.
It's true and accurate copy of what you perceived that evening.
Correct.
Okay, Your Honor, if I may approach, 3 seconds.
Sure.
Okay, and did she say you're not saying anything?
Correct. I
Did
didn't
you engage with her all that evening?
absolutely not at all.
And how did you feel when she came up?
I was scared. Really scared. I mean, I'm scared a lot anymore. And I have cameras, extra cameras all over my house. I have cameras in my car now. I'm looking behind my shoulder every time I go out, and having to keep even going up into my home, having to just be aware more. And it's just, I never had that fear in my life. So.
Okay. And this video we just played for the court, has that been filed?
I did file it with it, yes.
But you just gave it to me.
Oh, I have filed it with the police officer. Yes, and then he didn't get back to me. And then a new police officer said that everything wasn't completed or filed right. So then I gave everything to the new police officer the next day, and then I hadn't heard anything from him that day as well.
And this is the Lacey Police?
Yes, I
Okay.
contacted him right away after the incident.
Okay. And Your Honor, this file is not yet submitted with the court. This hard drive contains that file. File with Matt Quick. So as to communications, have you ever sent a threatening communication directly to the respondent?
I think maybe at one time at the beginning, we were kind of just going back and
I
forth.
said threaten.
Oh,
a
no,
threat
no.
of bodily harm.
No, absolutely not. No.
And your initial, have you reviewed the text messages that the respondent has filed from you with the court?
I have. I believe they're half sent and not her responses. So.
Okay. And those text messages, what was going on at that time?
So she was having an affair and still lying about it. Yeah, and just kind of like calling me crazy, calling me all these things, that I'm just delusional. And
did you end up being delusional?
I have not. So in the end, it's come all out, and everybody knows the truth now.
And did you file a picture of the respondent together with your husband with the court?
Correct.
And how did you obtain that?
I had, so Google Photos was uploading on my daughter's tablet still, and that had came on her tablet. Okay. So
nothing. Thank you.
Ms. Finkst, could you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. So I'll hear from you as to why you need an order against Ms. St. George.
Okay. Your Honor, I would like the order against Miss St. George, because if you rewind a little bit back, when all these accusations were being made, and whether it was her reaching out to me, reaching back out to her and everything, she usually would message me a lot of volatile, intense things, as well as my husband, ex-husband, as well as showing up at our home, taking videos of our car, our kids, walking
Tell me
around our.
about that, taking the video of her coming to your home and taking that video.
What was that? What about
Tell
it?
me about that in more
Oh,
detail.
she, sometime in September, I was not home. I was with a friend, Caitlin Dresslinky, me off at a dentist appointment, and she was babysitting my daughter. My husband was deployed, ex-husband was deployed in Thailand, and I think that her husband was not home, to my knowledge, from what she was saying to my husband. She showed up by my house, and she also texted me prior to that saying she wanted to talk. I said, I can't talk now, I'm busy. And so she kept calling me. She ended up going to our home, knocking on our door, our Ring camera caught it, walking around our property, taking videos of my car. I have a bunch of messages and videos that she sent to my husband. I didn't know how to send the videos in.
Some of those things are there. I see them.
Yeah. All the missed calls and everything like that while he's at work on a mission. And he's like, I'm not there. There's nothing I can do about it, but please leave my property, leave my family alone. She ended up saying, okay. And then after that is when I got all of the aggressive text messages from her. And you can also see my response in the pictures that I submitted. I also did say negative things, as well as she said them to me. At that point, I was just trying to defend myself because there was no affair at that time. Her husband and I were very close friends because she was having him always hang out with me, bring the kids over, pick them up. He would go to the park with us. He was always around. Usually she was not, unless we were going to their house. After that initial big reaction blow up, I tried reaching out to her. I have messages as well. She didn't want to talk about any of the accusations. She kind of just ignored me and then talk about her own life. And then bring me gifts, bring my kids gifts. And that just kept happening on and off for a couple of weeks. Whenever I would bring things up, she didn't want to talk about them until I'm not exactly sure and I also have messages as well. Me and my kids were outside my house. Her husband pulled up on a motorcycle, tried the helmets on with them. And then after that, he went home. She called me. I told her, hey, we just saw him. She then was upset with me, said it wasn't okay that he came to our house. I didn't have control over that. And I think that was the end at that point. But he started throwing all my kids' stuff in the dumpster, my son's special needs stroller, his therapeutic mattress, because it was all at her house because they used to babysit for me. My daughter's pack and play. She said, sorry for cursing, that she wanted to take a shit in it and pull an Amber Heard, and that I have dirty skin, call me the N-word, F her, she's ruining my marriage. But she never.
Those in texts?
Mm-hmm. But she never wanted to talk to me. Yeah, some, not all of them. I got all of these from her estranged husband.
Did you show them to Mr. Leone?
I did.
Okay. Okay. What's you saw this video where I couldn't hear anything, but I did see there was interaction between the two of you.
At the school?
Yeah. Explain to me.
Yes.
I heard her perspective. What's
Yes.
your perspective on that?
That was after I sent her a long message because the back and forth between not wanting to be friends one day, the next day wanting to be friends, bringing us treats, not ignoring us, ignoring my kids, being rude to them. I just wanted space. I said in the message, I'm okay with our kids being friends. Me and my ex-husband are cool with your husband, but after all the things that you've been doing, driving by our house at night, coming over, taking videos of all of us, tailgating my car.
This is what you were talking with her about at school?
In the message I sent to her.
No, I want to know what was going on at the school.
At the school,
Right.
I confronted her. I was like, hey, are you not going to respond to my message? Because in that message, I asked to have a conversation with her about all the accusations. She was like, no, I don't want to. I want to focus on my family. And I was like, okay, I'm walking with my stroller, but you keep talking to other people about it and showing other people pictures of me. Anyway, move on. We go. I'm going to the park with my kids. We do that every afternoon. Usually it was with her husband and their kids because she didn't do that. And a mutual friend of all of us confronted her about the throwing my kids' stuff in the dumpster and being like rude and involving the kids. And then that's when she started, that's when she started with her sister, talking loudly, talking about me, using my name. And then that's when I walked up to say, you have not talked to me about any of this. Each time I tried, you ignored me. So can you talk to me about it before you talk to other people? Puts her hand in my face, wants to ignore me. And I'm like, let's walk away from everyone, because her and her sister were raising their voices. And I think you can also find most of this conversation too on her phone, because she was recording everything at the time. That's why there is a still shot. And after we walked away from the kids and I handed my child off to someone, her kids were already away. Most of the kids were away. It was my baby, my autistic son, and maybe 2 little girls. You can see in the video, all the other kids were away. She was taking a video of me while we walked over, because I want to walk away from everyone. But a teacher was over here and experienced the whole thing as well. The whole time saying, you didn't talk to me. We never talked about this. You can hear the tone of my voice on the video, I'm assuming. And she's yelling at me saying, look at you, you're crazy. Your husband doesn't love you. He doesn't respect you. You're pathetic. You're disgusting. You're gross. Look at you. You're manic, pointing up at me up and down. And I'm calling her husband, asking him, because we were close friends at this time, no affair, asking him, can you please come get her? Because she's attacking me at the school and I don't want to be a part of this anymore. And then after that, when you see us walk away, a teacher walked me into the office at the school. I did not go to see him. I was in the office talking to the teacher and the principal about the issue that just happened there. And they asked me to go, recommended, especially after her following us, recommended that I go and put in a restraining order, which I did, but she was already there and she had them telling me I need to wait outside.
So you both went to the, that is news to me. You both went to the they're consecutive. They were filed consecutively. So
Yes,
they
we
were very
there
close
the
in time.
exact same day. She was ahead of me and she had them tell me to.
So you were filing restraining orders against each other on the same day.
Yes.
Okay. Hang on just a second. No, I'm asking her. I have another
Yes.
question about her, about this. You know, Mr. Leone showed video of, or stills, I see, of your car going, he said that your car is going up and down her street. Tell me about
Yes,
that.
which I am a little bit confused about. I do have another friend at the very end of the cul-de-sac, but from the,
So you do know someone on the cul-de-sac?
yes, she introduced me to a lot of people on the cul-de-sac, and also there's another couple on the cul-de-sac who goes to school with my daughter as well. They're in the same class, Liliana. But at the same time, that night after the party that I was already at and she was also invited to, there's video of that. I do not have it. I think her husband does, because she was punching him and yelling at everyone at the party, intoxicated. After that night, she broke into his trailer and kicked him out of their home. And so my ex-husband and I said he can live on our property and at our house. And so he would also use my car and drive around and help me and drive my kids around. So that's the car, and that's what I said.
What's the story on filling out the request for a restraining order?
Yes,
Is that your-
so for that, once he heard that she did one on him, he found it online. He said that in their relationship, and I also have documentation too.
No, I'm asking how is it that you came to be the one? They're saying you filled it out.
Yes, he asked myself and a friend, Kylie. She deals with, Kylie, what's her name? Last name, Kylie DeYoung. She deals with restraining orders and kids protection and all that kind of stuff. He said that he's not good with this. He's not good with words. I would like for you guys to help me fill this out, and I'll tell you everything to write.
So Mr. Leone is
I have multiple witnesses.
representing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and just I have multiple witnesses about that too.
So Mr. Leone represents Ms. St. George. She may have some questions for you.
Okay.
And if you have some questions for her on her testimony, you can ask them, but we're going a little bit out of order.
Okay.
And so, Mr. Leone, do you wish to cross-examine Ms. Finkst?
Briefly, Your Honor.
Ms. Finkst, you indicated that there's an incident of alleged tailgating, correct?
Mhm.
And isn't it correct that you were both going to a children's football or cheer event that morning? Okay. So my client's
There's a few more.
so my client's children attend the same cheer, or daughter attends the same cheer event as yours, correct?
Yes, I'm the coach.
And further, regarding that case, regarding cheer, isn't it true that you told another cheer coach that you had a temporary order of protection against my client?
I told the head coach of TCYFL that I filed for one.
Okay.
And that mine did not get approved because she had already filed for one. But I wanted them to be aware of the situation and how at all these events, she records me and usually was kind of rude and disrespectful.
But you reviewed my client's declaration that was filed with the court, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and my client filed an additional text message from the cheer coach to my client stating that she had a temporary order of protection against her, correct?
Okay.
So isn't it true if the cheer coach is telling my client that she has a temporary order of protection, that she's restrained from you, then how, what's the disconnect?
What do you mean?
Doesn't it show that you affirmatively told the cheer coach something that was untrue about having an order of protection against me?
Wait, I'm confused. What was the disconnect? I told her that I filed something. Did I not?
One moment, Your Honor, I just pulled it. Sorry to slow down, Your Honor. I was trying to make sure this was made it in. Is the court in receipt of a supplemental declaration from my client?
When was it filed?
It should have been filed on 10/24.
Let me make sure I'm in the right book file here. And then was it filed in both cases? Or just?
And then we filed it in the cause number ending in 8, and then subsequently filed it as a response in the cause number ending in 9.
Okay. What are you trying to say?
But I wish I had the exhibit.
This is her. Yes, that was it.
Okay, so page 2 of my client's, or actually page 1 after the cover sheet of my client's declaration, a text message here from Rachel from Cheer. Is my understanding that you, to my client, it's my understanding that you are not allowed within 1,000 feet of her daughter. So if the cheer coach is saying that to my client about not being able to be within 1,000 foot of your daughter, isn't it true that you told the cheer coach that?
I think that text message by your client may have been misunderstood, because in my messages to my boss, I was talking about how that is what I was going for in my petition, and that I filed it and I did not get approved temporary. We're still waiting for a hearing.
Okay.
Because that is what I put in my thing. So
and though you were having an affair with my client's husband, you tried to make her think, you tried to
Well,
tell
actually,
my client
Okay, so let him finish and then don't interrupt him, and then you could respond when he's done.
and though you were having an affair with my client's husband, you repeatedly told her that it was not happening, correct?
may I talk?
Yes, you can answer.
So prior to all of this, every single time she accused me or came up to me, there was no affair. We were good friends. The affair and emotions and relations started in the month of October, and that is after she came after me and my children.
Okay. And that recording at the school that my client took of you during this recording wasn't my client's not demeaning you, but instead just telling you why don't you call your own husband instead of calling mine.
Yes, I did both.
Wait.
So when you buy, so the order of protection, so strike that. So the screenshots that my client has submitted to the court, you have reviewed these, correct?
Of our conversation?
Of you in your car outside of Planet Fitness?
Yes.
Okay. And isn't it fair to say that you could have chose to not have encountered my client and just drove past her at that time?
Yes, but her husband was there. I went there to see him. He called me. She was speaking to him. He was leaning over her car when I went to see him because he asked me. So again, why would I know that she was there? I don't have a jack in her car.
Yeah, but the recording. Okay. No further questions, Your Honor. Okay.
You wanted to say something, ma'am? You had your hand up.
Yes, I did. And honestly, it went in my head and went out.
So I have a couple of questions for your client there, Mr.
Yeah.
Leone. Tell me about the videotaping was alleged to have occurred at her place before all this came about.
Okay, so that videotaping, I had left clinical because I had told my husband I needed a hug, that everything was breaking apart. This was before the protection order, of course,
Yes.
and everything. And he said, no, don't come here with me. Don't come here with me. Still, I have this thing in my head that they're together. And so I had called her and I asked if everything was okay. She said, yes, I'm just at the dentist. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you then. I said, well, I left clinical. I'll come talk now. So when I had went to her house, which I just entered the front, I went up and knocked on her door. She wasn't home. And that's when I had just took a recording of her not being home and the car seat being out of her. This is while my husband's still trying to call me, saying that he's not with her and all that stuff. And I had told her husband, I had called her husband. I said, listen, this is what they're doing. Obviously, it's right at the beginning of everything. I'm hurt. We have 17 years together, which I was later confirmed that in a recording with that talking with him, that I wasn't crazy, that they were together that day at Walmart. And that he had just dropped her off at the school without me seeing and drive back around. So she did have the baby with her and they were shopping at Walmart together. And he said this whole entire time you weren't crazy. Her husband had also reached out to me and said, I'm sorry that I doubted you.
What I asked you about was the videotape.
Okay, I'm sorry. So the videotaping. So yes, I had just walked to the front, just caught a recording, crying, saying, just of the front of the house that she's not here, that she's with him right now. And I had sent it to her husband. But it wasn't around the house. It was literally just up to the front door and back to my car.
And he also said some things about, you were going to do some things with some of her child's belongings. What's your response to that?
So with that, I had put everything at the end of the driveway, not in a dumpster. It was just at my house. I had taken all their stuff out of my house, put it at the end of the driveway, sent a picture to my husband of all the things that he needs to put in the back of his truck to give to her, which she now has. He took everything over to her house the next day. So, and yes, she does have all the items. They were never thrown away. I would never do anything to hurt her babies. I loved those babies for a long time. So she does have all those items.
All right. Anything I guess if I can hear argument from you there, Mr. And then I'll give you one final word there, Ms. Finkst, and then I'll make a ruling.
Your Honor, before I move on, can I make a couple questions along your line of questioning? Sure. So, the recordings, you sent those to her husband, correct? Outside of her home?
I did.
Okay. And did he eventually respond to you?
He just said, because he didn't know at the time, he said, please, I don't want you going back to the house. And I said, it's mutual. I don't want her coming back to my house as well.
Okay. So. But did he eventually acknowledge you?
He did. He just, yeah, okay. He did.
So after you went to her home at that time, did you at any time after that seek subsequent contact with the respondent?
No.
Okay. And nothing further along that line. I can go ahead. So, Your Honor, first off, as credibility, this whole case proceeds. It's easy to just play this off as two women fighting over a man because of an affair. But really, if the credibility for the respondent starts right there. The whole thing is, I'm not having an affair with your husband. I'm not having an affair with your husband. Well, turns out that they were. Credibility point two, we have these text messages with the cheer coach. The respondent goes before this court, asks for a temporary order of protection. It's denied. Yet, what does she do? Try to litigate this in the court of public opinion and perception. And tell us a cheer coach that she has an order against my client. Those are both things that very much discount the respondent's credibility right off the bat. And then further, respect for this court's orders. There was a temporary order of protection that was in place. Is the fact that it was violated. The Lacey police are in the process of blowing the investigation. I hope they do not. Is the basic principle that we always explain to defendants, to clients, whatever. If there's an order of protection in place, if it's no contact, distance, whatever, if you're at Safeway, if you're in a public place, you see that other party and you are the restrained party, you leave. You do not go and engage that restrained party. Unfortunately, this is what the respondent's been engaging. She's saying that she has a legitimate or lawful purpose into going into my client's neighborhood on multiple occasions because, oh, I know some people down the street. That's not what this scofflaw type behavior shows. This is stalking conduct. This is repeatedly following, harassing, approaching my client, going near her house when she doesn't be there, etc. The incident that started this case at the school, it's pretty clear that there was a significant cooling off from my client. She may have gone to the respondent's home, taken videos of, oh no, my suspicions are confirmed. There is an affair. She's not there. But after that, going to the home and doing those recordings and having contact with the respondent's husband, no contact with the respondent whatsoever. Text messages between the parties are, she doesn't want to respond. She wants to give her space. She doesn't want to do the same.
I didn't bring this up, but I'm looking at text messages from her where she calls her a piece of S, an effing coward.
So the video.
Hang on, so a scared little bitch. I'm just kind of reading the highlights there. So there was response to text messages.
Yeah, absolutely.
So go ahead. You could continue.
But then the subsequent in-person interactions are totally thrown off. My client seeks to disengage and was not. And it was before.
That was before
any type of interaction. But the subsequent conduct after those are initially sent is my client presents at the school we had those multiple recordings of, and she's seeking not to engage the respondent. She doesn't want any more of it. She's too mentally exhausted to engage. But the respondent cannot take, I'm done, for an answer. We can speak our minds to an extent. We have free speech in this country to tell people what we think about them. As long as it doesn't, become harassing when it's no longer, two-party combative contact. My client cooled off. The respondent couldn't take no for an answer. She continued to engage my client. Then there wasn't enough after that interaction, where my client really was seen in those videos multiple times trying to walk away. That wasn't enough. Then she has to go and file a retaliatory petition, help my client's abusive husband file a petition, which my client's abusive husband said was false. All the allegations in it were false. She fills it out for him, and it's not good enough to give it to a processor and say, I'm going to be this guy's paralegal. Okay, I'm this to a processor and go. No, she goes to my client's house to assist the processor. She has no legitimate or lawful purpose to be there, and she has a no contact provision.
Keep your hand down, ma'am. You'll have a chance.
So there's that subsequent conduct. And then we have the driving by, and then we have the incident at Planet Fitness where that contact shouldn't occur. My client has cooled off. There doesn't need to be an order of protection against her, and she cooled off before all of this happened. The respondent has spiraled. She's engaged in unlawful behavior. There needs to be a protection order with 1,000-foot restriction to really enforce the situation. But my client's being stalked.
Ma'am, I'll hear from you.
Yes. So, Your Honor, when it comes to all that, I feel like I have many more messages, videos, everything, that each time when the affair did start, it was after he had already moved out of their house, and then we decided to explore things. Would not have been able to tell her because of the order, temporary order, and because frankly, after what she did to my kids and myself and my husband and stalking us, driving past the house, I didn't owe her anything. And the slander, showing pictures of people, apparently her talking to everyone, showing them pictures of me, and all I was doing was retaliating and asking her to stay away from me and my family. That's why I had the school involved. They switched my schedule up so I can go in and out when she was not there. And the cop also asked me to bring documents on the night that a third party was serving her. He asked me to go pick them up, so I did and brought them back because the people told me to. I have videos of all of that. I have all the videos of, she has videos of me talking that could probably prove my demeanor and everything, and how she was talking to me and how I was talking to her. Like, I honestly, Your Honor, I don't have much else to say because I also have like a bullet summary of all of her events with her communicating, her wanting to be friends, not wanting to be friends. I wanted to discuss accusations, but she ignored me, throwing all my stuff away, my kids' stuff on the corner in the dumpster on trash night, telling her she was gonna shit in the,
That picture of them in the dump,
in the trash.
did they actually go out in the trash?
No, because she told her husband to go pick them up and put him she said, pick them up or they're gonna get taken to the trash, and he did, and he brought them to us. She did not. Again, we got invited to a party, mutual friends, yes, but I was already there. She came up, pulling friends down, doing shots. We have the bar, I think, gave a friend the video of her punching her husband.
Facts, not evidence.
Threatening
Go ahead, ma'am.
threatening the mutual friend Kalich. To me, I can understand how something could send her into a manic bipolar episode and wanting to hurt us and say these things. I understand that, but she never gave me a chance to talk to her pre-having an affair. Afterwards, I felt like I didn't owe her anything, and I don't know why that has to do with anything now. And that's it. I did not stalk her. I did not harass her. I was just trying to keep my stuff together, keep my kids safe, and
So here's the way I'm going to rule with regard to both of these. You know, I said at the outset, I don't think gave the opportunity to both folks as to walk away and let those things go. Neither party didn't want to do that. And so what I kind of hinted about happening is going to happen. I'm going to start with Ms. St. Jude, since it was filed first, in cause number 25000338. And I petition for an order against, it says listed as Collymore here, but is it Finkst?
Yes.
Is it, okay. Has it always been Finkst or is it?
maiden name Collymore,
Okay. All
current
right.
name Finkst.
I just go AK. Okay. And so that'll be granted. The parameters of the order are you're not to have any contact, don't come within, or not have any contact, don't cause any harm, don't engage in stalking behavior. The basis for the order is, well, there's a few things. First of all, if someone you're involved with ever asked you to help them write a restraining order against their ex, either girlfriend or wife, the only answer is no.
Okay.
And no, you can't be a part of that, and you need to see somebody else. And plus, furthermore, engaging in being a part of the service, going out there, that actually tells me a lot when you do that sort of stuff. Just hear me out, ma'am. I don't know either one of you, and all I can do is make decisions based on what's presented and kind of the impressions I get from living in the real world, frankly. And again, you just can't be involved in stuff like that, and that kind of tells me a few things. Now, maybe you were going up and down the street to see a friend down there, but also Mr. Leone is right in the sense that you need to be extra careful just to stay away and not be involved in that. Okay. And so that, and some of the text messages that go back back and forth, I find that that's the basis for the restraining order, so I'm going to grant that order.
Okay.
With the order with Ms. Finkst against Ms. St. George, I'm going to grant that as well. The type of behavior that I find that the basis for a no contact order is the language that I referenced in the text messages, calling her an effing coward, a scared little, for lack of a better term, bitch, calling her a piece of shit. And that's the basis for when the whole order was started. Yes, things did cool off after the incident at school, as far as I can tell, though you engaged in some, alleged to have engaged in some future behavior, but the base of the order is that. I'm also troubled by the concept of going to someone's, to videotaping and then sending that. I find that harassing as well. So orders will be entered both ways. There's not going to be a distance restriction. I don't find that there's been any threats of any violence against anybody. People say, well, I'm concerned about my children. You should be, and you kind of both should be thinking about what sort of example you're setting for these kids, because they're paying attention and they're picking up way more than you have any idea. So that's going to be my order and orders. We're going to make copies of it. You can have those. And then once you get those, you're free to go. What? Sorry?
I have a question.
What's your question?
Does part of these orders, does that also include, like, I'm gonna say talking third party?
Yes, and
there's been a
third-party
lot of, like,
content,
social media posts.
well, I mean, again, third-party contact is in the sense that, you tell a mutual acquaintance, hey, go tell Chelsea this or that, that's a violation.
Okay.
Whether you
Pictures?
put an opinion on social media, then that's Mr. Leone is also correct, that people can voice their opinion about other people and it's not harassing. The safest thing to do, which not everybody follows this advice, is don't say anything. Just forget it. Just don't have an opinion on anything either of you do from now on. And that might be hard, but that's going to be my advice to you both. And so you can get copies of these orders.
Fees and costs.
I'm sorry?
Fees and costs.
Those will be denied. I'm not going to oppose those. Mr. Gomez, Ms. Garcia Cruz, you can come up and take seats. And Ms. Taylor, can you come on the Zoom call, please?
Hello, sir.
So who's going to speak first? Okay, you can be seated. And then could you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear and affirm the information testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. You can sit down. And how is it that you heard, you were in court, I think, when I read the definition of harassment? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Now you need to speak loudly because so everyone can hear you. It's very important that Ms. Taylor hears you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
No problem.
And so how is it that you need an order? And then I may hear from Ms. Garcia Cruz as well. How is it that you need an order against Ms. Taylor?
Yes. So since we have moved into that house in 2018, it's been a constant problem with her. We've had many instances in the past, but the most recent events was when we were gone from our house for 2.5 months. We came back in September. And as soon as September started, every time we would go to the yard, we can hear her making offenses towards us. And on
What would she say specifically?
And most of it was towards my wife.
Okay. Well, I'm hearing from you now. I'll swear in for her and I'll hear from her in a minute.
So, well, the first thing.
What did you hear? And then I'll ask her what she heard.
Just a lot of curses towards me.
Specifically?
You shut the F up. I don't like
heard
to
that
curse.
you just heard that people swear in court occasionally, so you
I
can
have a
speak
hard
frankly.
time.
You can tell me what, but you can use euphemisms like the F word or the, so go ahead.
Previously, we have tried getting a protection order in November of 2024. Brittany Taylor sent messages toward my wife threatening to kill her cat and many other things. And during that time of November, as I would go outside to feed my dog, I would hear Brittany Taylor, the fucking neighbor, fuck you, saying all these things while I'm just trying to feed my dog. And these are the kind of offenses that continues to occur on a routine basis.
Well, what
Fast
happened?
forwarding to,
Yeah,
sorry,
okay, so I want to know what's happening most recently here.
most recently in June of 2025, when I went outside to feed my dog, I hear her with her music of King Leroy saying, F you, goodbye, and increasing the volume as I'm feeding my dog. And I can hear the intent because there's no one else out there at 10 at night. So after that, we had left our home for 2.5 months.
Okay.
We came back in September. In September, the offenses, as the ones that I explained in November, continued. And I'm not
Give me
gonna
specific examples.
just saying, dropping F-bombs towards us. I'm not a person that likes to curse. We are servants of God. We don't speak like that. But these are the things that would come from her side of the fence to us. And on September 10th, my wife and I, as we were cleaning the house, we found a weapons lock in between our bush.
I saw that.
And as soon as we found it, we put it inside a plastic bag. And on September 11th, I made that call saying that we found this weapons lock in between our bushes. We do not have any weapons in this house. And he told us to dispose it, but we kept it just in case because something was wrong, because we can hear the neighbor constantly offending us over and over again. So we're trying to, we don't curse at her. We don't say anything to her. We avoid her completely. Not even hi or goodbye, nothing. Just clear cut. We don't say anything to her. And we've established this. We've spoken to the owner previously that we don't want any contact with her.
This
And
is the
so-
homeowners association?
And we did get in contact with the homeowners
I saw that.
association.
Yeah.
So on October 7th, on the Feast of Sukkot, well, my wife was going out to
I
the
read
mail.
that and I have to confess to you, I don't know what that is. I've not heard that. I don't.
Yes, the Feast of Sukkot is a feast in the Bible. It's basically, they also call it the Feast of Booths or the Feast of Tents, where we have to,
One at a time, ma'am. Go ahead, continue on, sir.
where part of that feast, we have to build an improvised tent. Because of that tent represents when Israel was taken out of Egypt.
Okay.
And so God had his people living in tents, based improvised shelters. So that's a part of that feast. So on that day, even before we set up our tent, which we were going to have on our deck, my wife went to go get the mail. Brittany and a male subject, she told me, drove up to her and said, F you, you F.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll swear her in and I'll give her a chance.
So this is
I
what
just
she
want to
told
know
me.
about you, okay?
Yes. So, based on what happened that day, from what Aileen had told me, I called the police. And the police said, all right, no crime has occurred, but continue to document it. I had to go to work and I couldn't just stay there. So I told my wife, okay, well, I'm going to notify the owner and let her know what's going on, because I don't want her to think that we're setting up the tent to create something against her, because we're not. This has nothing to do with her. We are here to celebrate this towards God.
Okay.
And after I sent that message to the owner, I left it, I called the police, I went to work. My wife calls me and tells me that Brittany and that male subject for hours yelling at my wife over the fence.
Let me finish with you. And if you're done, I'll swear her in and I'll hear from her.
Okay,
Okay, are you done?
I'm not done.
Okay, go ahead. I don't want to hear about her. I'll give her the chance to do that.
So at that point, I understood that this is something that's serious. This is something that is just attacking our faith. Because if it's affecting my wife, it's going to affect me. Because we're married, we're one flesh. So after that happened, I continued to document.
And when did that happen? Do you have a date on that?
October 7th.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
After that, my wife and I, we were just scared. We kind of just stayed in our house because we know that in the past, she's done this before, where she's mixed her medicine with alcohol and something else during the past previous, when we try to document the.
How do you know that?
This is something that she admitted to us.
Okay. All right. Continue on.
So after that, on October 13th, while I was getting ready to take out my dog, I can hear her speaking erratically. And I just completely avoid it because I'm just trying to keep the peace. So I go back inside. I just wait because I can hear her yelling. doing, the same erratic behavior that we know that she does. And then we begin to record because it's just, we hear that it's about us. And she recorded it, and we've heard the recording saying that it's the faggot ass neighbors. They deserve to be fucking murdered.
Okay. Ma'am, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. What do you have to tell me? He started describing the event. Tell me what happened from your perspective, please.
So, like my husband said, this been going on since we moved to the house.
And you've been there since 2018?
Yes, Your Honor, around September, because we get married in that time. And we were renting the house. So we try our best to be good neighbors and tolerate the situation with the previous harassment.
Well, what happened on there was that feast day that your husband spoke of, and then you talked about an
Yes.
incident about her and somebody else. Tell me about that.
Well, in that day of October 7th, I went out. Actually, I was liberating a wasp that went inside the house, and I was in the corner of my bushes right before the street, and I saw them that somebody was in her car, so I decided to go pick the mail and just go to my house to avoid them in the car. And as I am collecting my mail, they reversed the car, and I heard, "I hope you died, bitch." And the other person said the same, the male that was with her. And they drove contrary from where I was. That street usually is the one that everybody takes to go exit. They use the contrary one. And then I went to my house. I crossed the street and went to my house and tell my husband about it, because we were really done with the situation. And that day we start the feast, and it's supposed to be a happy time. It's 8 days of celebration. So I tried to.
There was I thought I read in your declaration that she said something about about this feast you were celebrating. What did she say?
No, that was after. I told my husband to text the owner of the house and tell them about what happened, and that we were very done with the harassment. And that day we were going to start a celebration, and we want to make sure she understand that we were not going to play evangelic music just to mess with her. Right. Because we didn't want this to continue, because my family was going to be outside. I have a 4-year-old. I have my uncle that is an old man, me, and then my husband when he come back from the work. And unfortunately, an hour later, I start cleaning the deck to build the tent and all the stuff that I need. And they came back to the yard, because she's most of the time in her yard. And I start with my evangelical music, because I really didn't want to hear anything. But unfortunately, over the music, both of them start yelling at me and telling me to shut up the music, and cursing at me. And I keep cleaning my deck by myself, And I raised the music a little more because I really didn't want to get stressed out. And I want to focus in what I was doing, in the task that I was doing. But they keep cursing me out to the point that after more than 20 minutes, hearing them yelling at the same time, I broke in nerves. And I wanted to say many things because I was very stressed out. So I start praising. I start praising in Spanish because that's my main language. I start praising to God and I start like casting away the demons. And that's all I said because I was very stressed out. I was break down on my nerves. My son was with my uncle watching TV. And I know that they could hear the screams, but I stay doing the task at hand and keep cleaning my deck and putting the tent until I finish. When I finish decorating the tent and all that they keep yelling at me over and over, I have to go to buy some groceries. So I took a shower. And meanwhile, I took a shower, I record because I wanted to have something to defend myself. And that's when I have the recording, and that's why you could hear music, evangelical music in the Spotify. That's why you hear commercials. And you could see what's going on after, just as an evidence of the continuous harassment that she have, and she invites somebody else that I have never met, that I don't know, that I have never talked with, continue with the campaign of harassing until that happened.
Okay. So let me hear from Ms. Taylor, okay, for a few minutes. And, you know, I saw there was a lot of things filed and some calls, and some of those, for whatever reason, I wasn't able to hear those recordings. I'm not sure why exactly. Sometimes, because I usually do this stuff on the weekends over the home, but then sometimes my remote access won't let me do that. But Ms. Taylor, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. So what's your response to all of this?
Okay, so all this, I will admit that I have taken things above and beyond. But
So I need to speak. I'm sorry. The connection isn't the best. Go ahead.
it's because I'm sick. I'm sorry. I'll try to talk louder. Can you hear me better now?
Much better. Thank you.
Okay. I will admit that I have taken things above and beyond. I do struggle very much so with anxiety, depression, panic attacks. I am in counseling now. The issue with my friend, his name was Ricky, when he came over, I had told him about what had been going on, and we were listening to music on the back porch. So when she started putting her music on, every time I put my music on, she turned hers up. And it's like, if they're allowed to listen to their music, I should be allowed to listen to mine. And yes, I did. I did start. I mean, I don't think I really said anything too crazy. And I certainly didn't tell them that they should be murdered. But I did say some things that I shouldn't have said, I'm sure.
And it sounds like this has been going on for a while.
It has, but here's my issue with a lot of it is
What can we do to get it to stop? I mean, they're clearly very upset, and you're upset too. So I mean,
yeah.
What can we do about this so you both can live in peace, which I think you all want?
Yeah. The thing is a long time ago, they had mentioned that I had told them that I had mixed my medicine with alcohol and other substances. I am 9 years clean in December. I do occasionally smoke weed. I drink some wine. When I sent those first very heinous, very rude text messages was a while back. After that, I did tell them when I first got on my medication, I had had a screwdriver with my cousin and I blacked out. And I did. I apologized to them for it. And I quit drinking hard alcohol. That was maybe a year and a half ago. I didn't even remember what I wrote in those messages until I talked to my father-in-law the next morning and read them. After I read them, I deleted their phone numbers so that I would not message them anymore. But then we became friends again. They even took my daughter to the Great Wolf Lodge with them, and she stayed the night with them for her son's birthday party.
When was that?
That was Mother's Day weekend.
Just this last Mother's Day?
Yes, this last Mother's Day. After that, we've had barbecues. After that, there was an issue where I had asked her, or she had offered, I can't remember which, to take my daughter to a well child check at the doctor's office because I was having a severe anxiety attack. When I went on my chart to send the letter into the school so she could be excused from school, it stated that she said my house was disgusting, there was feces everywhere, and she told all this to the doctor. So in turn, the doctor called CPS. CPS came out. I asked her about it. She said, they're racist. They're saying that because I'm brown. I never said any of it, and I'll go down there with you to prove that I never said any of it. So when I talked to CPS, I let her know. I said, they said you did say it. It's all on there, and they did contact CPS. That's when she messaged me and said, my husband said enough is enough. I can't talk to you anymore. I figured she just didn't want to admit that she had said it, So CPS comes to my house that same day, and the CPS caseworker, Tara Vett, tells me that the reason why they called CPS is because Aileen supposedly told the doctor's office that the reason why I did not bring my daughter was because I was drunk. So they came out and gave me a mouth swab that same day. I passed the mouth swab. We passed the home inspection. The CPS case is closed. A couple days after that happened, though, my mother came down and I had went outside to help her unload some stuff from her car. And I noticed that at their garage sale, there was a police officer and another guy. And I kind of just looked over, like, what's going on? We start driving to Sonic, me and my mom, and Aileen texts me and says, I hope you're enjoying the show, insinuating that I called CPS on them, which I did not. They also put in there that I called twice on them. I have never called CPS on anyone in my life. The weapons lock, that's a lock for my gate. I am a felon. I do not have weapons. I have never owned a weapon. There are no weapons in my home. When I take it off the gate, I set it on the air conditioner, which is on the side of my house. I have no idea how it could have made it over by their house. But at first they said it was found by the gate, and then it was the bushes, and then it was the trash can. The keys were still in it. I leave the keys in it and put it on the air conditioner so that I don't lose them. There was also an incident, they said in 2019, that I shot a BB gun at their fence. In 2019, my mother-in-law still lived here at this address with me. I did not have a BB gun. My daughter got one for Christmas last year, but I did not have a BB gun. I never did that. They said I admitted to doing it. I admitted to drinking and being angry because I think it was the wedding anniversary. They had, they were out there like DJing really, really loud Mexican music. And I was irritated. This was before counseling and everything. This was like 2019. I admitted to them and I apologized. They prayed over me, everything else. And we were friends again. Like, it just, I feel like they have lied about so many things. Yes, I have done multiple things that they have said, but half of the stuff in this paperwork is just, it's ridiculous. Like, my father-in-law has been here. I mean, my mother-in-law, like I said, she lived here. And my daughter was 2 years old. I feel very uncomfortable that they stand on the porch and record me all the time. I did make a comment out there one night that people that treat their animals that way deserve to be murdered. I did say that. I should not have said it, but I did.
You understand that's completely inappropriate.
I absolutely do, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Their
So-
dog is outside constantly. They don't let it in the house. It gets so annoying when I'm in my living room and I can still hear the thing barking.
So here's the thing, ma'am, and I'm going to speak to all of you at once here, right? So the only thing in front of me here right now is whether or not, an order should be entered. And I'll get back to that in a second. But there's a lot of things that I can, and there's some things I cannot do. For one thing, I can't enter an order that gives you a good neighbor. Either one of you just can't do that. How they, again, I don't, how they treat their dogs, that's up to animal control. With regard to the CPS thing, that's not really, that's not in front of me right now. And by your own admission, ma'am, you said some pretty, disturbing things.
Yes.
That no one would want to hear. But you also said something that I completely agree with, and that is, the only thing this order can do is to keep you from contacting them. Don't speak to them, just pretend they're not there, right? So, but now I'm going to say something that's a little bit more tricky, and that is, you know what? You both can play music. You can play music on your property. You can play music on your property. You have your own taste, and I certainly can't control that. I can't regulate that. You also both can be considerate of the other people's, feelings and beliefs and all that sort of stuff. And so rather than turn it into a volume war for music of your own particular style, you should both, and both of you folks, can be considerate of your next door neighbor. You can both strive to be a good neighbor. But based on what I've heard, ma'am, I will enter an order that basically, and the only thing the order says is don't cause them any harm, which you haven't. Don't contact them and don't engage in stalking behavior. So they're not a part of your lives, and that's it.
Yes.
All right.
I have a question.
It's unfortunate at some point, you did seem to get along, but that's gone away. And I think the best thing for you folks, all you folks to do is just not communicate with each other. You had a question, and then you had your hand up, and then I'll hear from you first, ma'am.
Okay. So as far as the recording me on my back porch, I know they've taken recordings of like me and my daughter. We get into it pretty bad sometimes. I've had to call Catholic Community Services. I've got her on waiting list for counseling, but she's been throwing things at me. My daughter has been. So we get into it pretty bad.
Again, the only thing in front of me right now is this order. For me to start telling you stuff or her stuff about that, that's giving legal advice.
Yes.
And it's really not appropriate for me to do that. If you want to speak to a lawyer, but you can't do. And, it kind of depends. And again, I don't know what's going on out there. So I can't really speak to it one way or the other.
Right.
Because if you think, well, there's something really bad going on, then she'd want to document that. If you think, well, no, I don't want people taking video of me and my private life and all this sort of stuff. So you both kind of raised good points there, and I'm not going to get in the middle of that. The only thing in front of me here right now is this particular order.
Yes.
That might not be a satisfying answer to you, but that's the best one I can give.
Yes.
All right. So again, the order is going to be in place for 1 year. You're just not to communicate with them. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Don't look at it, look away, just pretend they're not there. Okay. And be respectful of each other with regard to the music that's being played. And I'm convinced you both can pull that off. All right. That's it for today. Ma'am, you're free to sign off, and you two are free to go. You can get a copy of this order off the district court website. Since you're here, you can get a copy of it here now.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck, ma'am.